What's up, you guys? Gonna make a short video and talk about I'm gonna briefly touch over the difference between soul and spirit. We're gonna touch on spirit vessels, which I also refer to as consciousness modularization, and then we're gonna touch on modalities of consideration, case A and case B. So basically, the difference between soul and spirit, in short, is soul, like I said in my RX system video, is a residue, is a byproduct produced by living, thinking, feeling, responding, observing. All these things produce soul. So the more you live, the more you feel, the more you think, the more soul you'll produce. And soul is circulated in this immaterial system that's really vast. Spirit, on the other hand, spirit is, I think spirit is the conscious adaptation of consciousness itself. So you imagine consciousness itself isn't necessarily wholly conscious. Consciousness itself is less individual. Consciousness is more like a great pool. And then awareness swims in the whole pool of consciousness. So it's almost like consciousness is like a double universe with the whole entire cosmos, so that anywhere physical form might go or be, there could also be consciousness. And so consciousness really is like the potential for awareness. I hope that makes sense. And so the idea is behind like a spirit vessel or consciousness modularization is you actually reform consciousness into an adapter for yourself. And that is essentially what spirit is spirit is the structure of your consciousness, which is aware. And you can send forth spirit vessels out into the cosmos. And the spirit vessel itself it really moves through a multiverse, because the spirit vessel is moving through the whole conscious field, as well as the spirit vessel is moving through the cosmos. So there's somewhat of a limitation, because the spirit vessel is limited to the whole pool of consciousness. So essentially, like if there's a part of the cosmos but there's no conscious field there, then a spirit vessel can't be adapted, it can't extend through that area of the cosmos. So a conscious field has to be extended first, and then you can extend spirit. And spirit is almost like software, but can be like hardware too. Spirit can be like formless, immaterial process, but spirit can also be hardware. And here's the way that works, is intention itself manifests form. So if just the mere intention of sending my imagination, sending my conscious awareness, sending my spirit out into the cosmos, just my intention to do that alone will manifest processes and forms which will complete my intention, which will fulfill my intention. And this is the whole idea behind spirit vessels and whatnot. And really the whole effort of the black flame, whole science, the whole occult science, is because, see, black flame, when you work in black flame, there's different branches, but all the branches are going to lead you out into the cosmos. Exploration of space, exploration of the concepts of space, exploration of the concepts related to the creation of space, creation of the universe, and different dramas that happen out in the cosmos. Now, shifting more towards kind of introducing the modalities of consideration, which I talked about in a different video. There's two modalities of consideration, case A and case B. And as I mentioned before briefly in a different video, case A modality of consideration depersonifies, really doesn't value person all that much, is very impersonal, cold, as well as restricts and has a dislocated view on sensation. So sensation is separate from the self. It's to be analyzed by the self. It's to be treated impersonally. Sensation is not to be identified with. Now, case B, on the other hand, operates totally differently. The whole mode of its operation is completely different. Case B personifies everything. Everything becomes a person, completely immerses itself in personas and all that stuff, as well as immersing itself in sensation and amplification of sensation and identity through sensations. I feel, therefore I am. Case A is more like I observe, therefore I am. Case B is more like I think and feel, therefore I am, with more emphasis on the feeling. And so when you're sending a spirit vessel out into the cosmos, and then an experience happens, you have a visual. You have a visual impression, which is data that's sent back into your brain. So your spirit vessel is out observing, and then the information gets sent back to your center, and then processed through your physical body, and then you experience it in your primary person, experience it through your imagination. Of course, if you were to OBE from your body, the information wouldn't have to be filtered through your physical body, so you'd be having a different experience. But the information is being sent from your spirit vessel to your body, so it gets filtered through your body and limited and all those types of stuff. All kind of limiters within the body. Because formerly it's limitation itself, but that's a tangent. But see, when you have that experience, when you have any experience, you can consider it differently. You can feel about your experience different ways. And that's what separation, the difference between modality of consideration is for. Is because there's really a broader pool of conclusions that you can develop from experiences than one perspective can have by itself. So I cultivate different types of perspectives to cultivate different pools of conclusions and can collect conclusions themselves rather than simply forming one or limited conclusions and just sticking with that. And so I have it split up between case A and case B. Case A mode, when I'm using my spirit vessel in case A mode, I'm seeing just elements, I'm seeing material, I'm seeing spatial law, I'm seeing just lifeless cosmos. Okay? I mean, it's just all math and science, it's all very impersonal, you know what I'm saying? But in the case B mode, when you send a spirit vessel out, like I said before in the other video, planets become people, spatial law becomes people, everything becomes a person, everything has a personality, everything has a human form, you can talk to everything, you can interact with everything, you can talk to space, you can talk to planets, you can talk to solar systems become people, galaxies become people, everything becomes a person. And there are, and I've had plenty of experiences where I've encountered a deity, or I've encountered some type of personified celestial form, and a lot of people, especially in the occult world, believe they encounter these different deities and whatnot. I think people who claim to have encountered a deity, they're operating at a case B modality of consideration. They're personifying. Um, but on the other hand, you also have a lot of occult perspective, which believes all those those egregorial forms, is nothing but thought forms, and these different beings that we experience are nothing but reflections of ourself, reflections of our own ego, reflections of our own energies. So they're not living persons. Um, and really, too, Case A is really cold. Like I said before, Case A kind of perceives everything as automation, just layers of automation across cosmic scales. You know what I'm saying? Whereas to Case B modality of consideration, everything is much more alive. Everything is an environment full of life. Um, and even lifeless places of the cosmos can be personified into alternate beings, generally, scary, antisocial, solitary beings and such. Um, so there's that. And these things. And it all helps to facilitate an understanding of my occult system and perspectives and whatnot. But like I said before, really the whole science behind what I'm doing is to cultivate as of a variety of perspectives as I possibly can. I'm trying to create these different reality tunnels that I can perceive reality through. You know what I'm saying? Because really your belief system and a lot of your kind of default, just natural instinctual responses filter reality itself. And here's the thing, based on your perception, based on the filters that you have installed, reality will change, okay? People will change, the world will change based on how you perceive it. And so what I've done is I've learned how to adapt perspectives, and really it gives me completely entirely different visions of reality itself. And so as I collect perspectives and cultivate conclusion, I get to experience a broader range, a broader picture of reality. And that's really kind of the main goal behind my science. Kind of the overall goal is to equip myself with adaptation, as well as the intention and really the ability to perceive a fuller reality, and make myself more capable of experiencing a fuller reality. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not just about having the willingness to go experience, but you also must have like your inner instinctual responses. So, for example, as I mentioned in a different video, social consciousness naturally experiences terror and flight at the instance of unfamiliarity. So that is an effort in and of itself. Is how do you change your instinctual natural response to accept familiarity, to become curious about unfamiliarity rather than being afraid of unfamiliarity? Because see, how you respond to unfamiliarity really is the key of how you evolve and if you evolve. Okay. But anyway, just want to go over these things, and gonna go on ahead and close this out.